Just minutes ago, Sadiq Khan, the current mayor of London, was taken into custody by police in what is already being described as one of the most shocking scandals in recent British politics. This isn't speculation, this isn't chatter, this is fact. The leader of the capital removed by officers in broad daylight, phones lighting up non-stop, lawmakers rushing for cover and insiders murmuring that this could be the start of a political earthquake so powerful it might topple far more than one figure. Picture the scene, a closed-door meeting in central London suddenly broken up, senior officers pour in, tension fills the room and before anyone can grasp what's unfolding, the mayor is escorted out under tight security. Witnesses say he appeared visibly shaken, caught utterly unprepared, no spin doctors, no staged cameras, no polished script, only shock. That single image is now etched into Westminster's memory because a sitting mayor doesn't just get taken away at random, it never happens unless something monumental is in motion. And be clear, this wasn't a trivial fine or routine questioning, it was a deliberate, high-stakes operation. The swiftness and precision say everything. Police didn't stall for weeks or months, they struck fast, almost surgically, as if they'd uncovered evidence so explosive they couldn't risk delay for even a heartbeat. That sense of urgency points to a scandal that may ensnare not only Khan but a whole circle of powerful allies around him. Already City Hall has descended into turmoil, officials closest to him refusing to speak. Reporters hammer on locked doors, demanding answers, and MPs in Westminster privately admit this could be the gravest political crisis in a generation. Some are even whispering the term constitutional crisis, words rarely used without cause. For weeks murmurs had spread, talk of corruption, misused funds, even failures to act on serious criminal cases, yet most dismissed it as partisan mudslinging. No one, not even Khan's harshest opponents, imagined it would escalate this far, an active police probe capable of shaking the very pillars of London's government. Those quiet murmurs have erupted into a full-scale investigation and insiders insist today's arrest is only the first step. Because the truth is simple, police do not detain a serving mayor unless they believe the stakes are immense, and right now, sources claim this probe extends far beyond City Hall. We're talking money trails, hidden deals, buried evidence and choices that may have jeopardized the city itself. If even a sliver of this holds, London isn't merely facing a scandal, it's facing a reckoning. What makes this moment so perilous is the silence. City Hall is locked down, the mayor's press team has vanished, the Met clings to vague statements, leaning on the familiar phrase assisting with inquiries, the very line they use when trying desperately to contain something enormous. That silence isn't calming, it's frightening, because without answers the speculation only grows louder, and right now that speculation is sketching a scandal larger than anything witnessed in decades. Consider the optics. London, one of the most influential cities on earth, has its mayor under active police detention. Investors abroad, diplomats, world leaders, they're all watching, and what they see is disorder. Westminster insiders already say the government is bracing for impact at the highest levels, emergency sessions are underway behind closed doors, ministers are demanding constant updates, and even Khan's closest allies are showing panic. The word inside, this is only the start. Investigators are reportedly preparing to target others, senior advisors, council chiefs, maybe even MPs. Picture the scale, one arrest sparking a domino effect that could bring down some of Britain's most powerful figures. This is no longer just about Sadiq Khan, it's about who governs London, who safeguards the system, and whether that system has been decaying from within for years. And here's the twist, some insiders claim the scandal connects to cases the Metropolitan Police themselves once stood accused of burying. If that holds, this isn't just corruption, it's cover-ups, deliberate suppression of evidence and institutional decay at the very heart of British politics. That's why this moment feels different. This isn't a routine scandal, it's a crisis capable of breaking not just a mayor but the credibility of entire institutions. Tonight the mood in Westminster is raw panic, phones buzzing non-stop, MPs whispering about worst-case scenarios. If Section 1 was the shock, Section 2 is the aftershock, the ripple tearing through every corner of London's political machine. Because what's unfolding behind locked doors right now is pure damage control, and the whispers leaking out are darker than anyone imagined. Start with this, insiders say this probe didn't appear overnight, it began months ago, sparked by whistleblowers inside the Metropolitan Police. Yes, you heard correctly, officers within the system allegedly stepped forward with files they claim had been hidden for years. Those records, according to leaks, point to corruption in procurement deals, failures to tackle organized crime, and even possible ties between senior politicians and powerful business interests. That changes the entire picture because, if true, this isn't just about Khan misusing funds or mishandling investigations, it becomes a story about influence, about who truly pulls the strings in London. Was the city run for public interest or for a select circle of elites trading favors behind closed doors while the rest were left blind? That's the chilling question racing through Westminster right now, and the urgency with which police moved on Khan suggests desperation, maybe even fear. Think about it. If officers suspected evidence might vanish, if they feared witnesses could disappear or be silenced, then striking quickly was the only choice. That urgency shows investigators believe they're sitting on a live grenade of information. Westminster is trembling, senior MPs convening in secrecy, advisors scrambling for legal counsel, and some council leaders have vanished altogether, dodging calls, avoiding cameras, hiding from public view. That kind of retreat usually signals one thing: fear. Fear the investigation is widening, fear their names are next to surface, and the word cover-up is echoing louder by the hour. Consider the weight of that term. A cover-up isn't incompetence, it isn't missteps, it's intentional concealment. It means someone in authority chose to hide the truth and used power to bury it. If that's what investigators are uncovering, then London faces more than scandal, it faces institutional collapse. Reports are already emerging of raids, properties tied to senior officials searched, devices seized, hard drives taken. That isn't routine process, that's escalation. And when police chase digital trails, emails, money flows, encrypted messages, one outcome is certain: the truth surfaces. Because unlike people, unlike politicians, data doesn't lie. And here's what makes it more sinister: leaks suggest private security companies may have acted as fixers, suppressing damaging material before it reached the public. If that proves accurate, then this extends far beyond Khan. It would point to an organized system of concealment, a network built to shield the powerful at any cost. That's why tonight the political class looks petrified. They know if one thread is tugged, the entire fabric unravels. And remember, London isn't just another city, it's the capital of the United Kingdom, a global hub watched by investors, diplomats, and foreign governments. Each headline, each leak, chips away at Britain's credibility. Already international outlets splash the story across front pages, already markets tremble, because nothing rattles investors like instability in a financial capital. Back in Westminster, silence from City Hall is deafening. Normally in crisis, leaders rush to cameras to insist control, not this time. Khan's office has gone completely dark, and in that vacuum, speculation runs unchecked. Every unanswered question becomes another nail in the coffin. Every refusal to comment screams guilt. Labour is imploding. Behind closed doors, senior figures openly argue whether to defend Khan or cut him loose. Some warn that standing by him is suicide, his name now toxic, risking the entire party. Others fear abandoning him too quickly will make them look complicit. That fracture is political death. Once allies start turning on each other, the endgame begins, and the opposition is circling. Sensing blood, sharpening their attacks, they're ready to drive the scandal until resignations become unavoidable. This is no longer about one mayor, it's about power, survival, and control. For ordinary Londoners, shock is rapidly turning into fury. Social media burns with hashtags like Khan resign and London scandal trending worldwide. This is no longer just scandal, it's a political earthquake shaking the foundations of Britain's power structure, and Westminster knows it. You can almost sense the panic in those private corridors. MPs whisper in hushed voices, party leaders demand late-night briefings, aides rush back and forth trying to contain a storm that refuses to be contained. Because once the words criminal probe and sitting mayor appear in the same sentence, it's over. The damage is already irreversible. Here's the brutal reality: Sadiq Khan's silence is destroying him. Every minute he stays quiet, the story spins further beyond his control. The press office has gone dark. No statements, no denials, not even a flimsy attempt at damage control. That vacuum is being filled with leaks. Drip, 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 each more damning than the last. Missing documents, whispers of concealed payments, claims of backroom deals stretching far beyond City Hall. And the media? They're circling like vultures. Every paper preparing special editions, every news channel running wall-to-wall coverage, every political editor chasing the next bombshell. And here's what has Westminster shaking: this probe reportedly connects to files the Met once stood accused of hiding. Think about that. If police buried cases to shield political allies, and those cover-ups are now surfacing, then this isn't about one compromised mayor. This is about a system rotten to its core. An institutional reckoning that could pull in senior officials, advisors, even MPs. The question whispered tonight isn't if more names fall, it's who's next. Behind the scenes, Labour is in crisis mode. Emergency meetings, frantic calls, endless strategy sessions that go nowhere. They know the optics are toxic: a mayor clinging to office while under detention. It looks desperate, weak, dangerous. Already factions are splitting. Some MPs demand Khan step aside immediately before he drags the entire party down. Others cling to loyalty, terrified that cutting him loose will make them look complicit in his downfall. But that fracture is fatal. Once allies start peeling away, once doubts leak into the open, a political career is finished. And Westminster insiders say it's already begun. Quiet conversations in smoke-filled rooms about succession. Advisors testing the waters, asking who could fill Khan's shoes if he resigns. Government officials drafting contingency plans for a sudden removal. That kind of preparation doesn't happen unless collapse feels inevitable. Meanwhile, the opposition is sharpening attack lines, ready to use the scandal like a hammer against Labour. Every revelation, every leak, every whisper becomes ammunition. Because they know public outrage grows by the hour. And when the people turn, they don't just want apologies, they want accountability. On London's streets, anger is boiling. Protests outside City Hall are swelling. Social media burns with hashtags, Khan resign, London in crisis, who runs London, spreading worldwide. And that fury no longer targets Khan alone. Ordinary Londoners are asking the most devastating question of all: if the mayor is under investigation, who can be trusted? That single doubt could shatter faith in the entire political establishment. Because trust, once broken, cannot be stitched back together. Think about the international view. London isn't just another city, it's a global capital, a financial powerhouse. Investors, diplomats, world leaders are watching in real time. And the picture they see is chaos. A mayor in detention, a government in meltdown, a political order exposed as fragile and corrupt. That instability sends shockwaves far beyond Britain's borders. Markets wobble, allies lose faith, rivals exploit weakness. The dominoes are already falling. Reports say senior advisors have gone underground, cutting contact, scrambling to shield themselves. Council leaders delay meetings. Whitehall drafts contingency plans for a sudden power vacuum. These aren't the actions of a system in control. They're the frantic moves of a machine on the brink of collapse. And the leaks keep coming. Allegations of missing records, hidden bank transfers, secret meetings with security firms accused of silencing damaging information. Each revelation paints a darker picture, one stretching far beyond City Hall. Because this is no longer about Khan. It's about how London has been governed for years, maybe decades, a web of influence, a culture of cover-ups, a structure built to protect the powerful at the public's expense. The people are no longer just angry, they're furious. Social media has become a battlefield. Hashtags like Khan resign, London in crisis, who runs London are exploding worldwide. Protesters flood the streets outside City Hall demanding answers, demanding accountability, demanding justice. And that's the most dangerous shift. When the public stops waiting and starts demanding, pressure becomes unbearable. Once people smell blood, no politician survives. And don't forget the international stage. London isn't some backwater town, it's the beating heart of Britain's reputation. To see its mayor detained is a humiliation that spans borders. Foreign governments watch closely. Investors question stability. Rivals quietly revel in Britain's chaos. The longer the crisis drags on, the weaker the country looks. That's the brutal reality. The Met itself now walks a tightrope, hailed by some for boldness, accused by others of political gamesmanship. The force carries the burden of proof. They must produce solid evidence, undeniable facts, or risk destroying what little credibility they retain.